yabancı, Müslim ve gayrimüslim herkese sonuna kadar açık olacaktır. İnsanlığın ortak mirası olan Ayasofya, yeni statüsüyle herkesi kucaklamaya çok daha samimi, çok daha özgün şekilde devam edecektir. Hazırlıkları süratle tamamlayarak 24 Temmuz 2020 Cuma günü Cuma namazı ile birlikte Ayasofya'yı ibadete açmayı planlıyoruz. Herkesi ülkemizin yargı ve yürütme organları tarafından alınan Ayasofya kararına saygılı olmaya da davet ediyorum. Uluslararası alanda bu konuda ortaya konan her türlü görüşü elbette anlayışla karşılarız.
It was born as a church, an icon of the Byzantine Empire. It was converted into a mosque, the pride of the Ottoman Turks. It was then declared a museum, a symbol of Turkish secularism. It is now witnessing another transformation. The Hagia Sophia has once again been declared a mosque. On the 24th of July, this monument will open its doors to worshippers. The first Friday prayers will be held inside this structure. This is a decision which has undone the foundations of the Turkish secular state. The world is speaking up against it, but India has chosen to remain silent. So in the next 4 minutes, we'll tell you why New Delhi should take a stand, why it is important to object to the conversion of the Hagia Sophia into a mosque. I'll start with the decision first. 3 days back, the Council of State, Turkey's highest administrative court, unanimously revoked a 1934 cabinet decision which made the Hagia Sophia a museum. The Turkish President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, then signed a decree ordering the conversion of this museum into a mosque. As the news spread, condemnation started pouring in. From UNESCO to the European Union, from the Russian Orthodox Church to the Vatican, almost everyone has protested this. UNESCO has called the move, quote-unquote, regrettable. The World Heritage Committee of this body has said that Turkey's decision was not the subject of dialogue or notification beforehand. In other words, UNESCO was not informed. It now wants Turkey to start a dialogue without delay. If not, the preservation of this heritage site will be subject to a review, meaning the Hagia Sophia may lose its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The European Union has expressed similar disappointment. The foreign policy chief of the EU has said, and I quote, "The ruling by the Turkish Council of State to overturn one of modern Turkey's landmark decisions and President Erdogan's decision to place the monument under the management of the Religious Affairs Presidency is regrettable." Well, it certainly is. Religious bodies too are speaking up, like the Russian Orthodox Church, the ROC. It has expressed dismay at Erdogan's decision. And without mincing words, it has said, and I quote, "The concern of millions of Christians has not been heard. The court ruling shows that all calls for the need for extreme delicacy in this matter were ignored." And then we have the Pope, the chief pastor, the supreme pontiff of the worldwide Catholic Church. Unlike his grand titles, his message was rather short. Pope Francis had this to say about the Hagia Sophia.
My thoughts go out to Istanbul. I think of Santa Sophia and I am very pained. Please don't forget to pray for me. Have a good lunch and goodbye.
Well, the list of those against Turkey's decision does not end there. The United States, France, Russia, Cyprus, Greece, several other countries have spoken against Turkey, against the religious nationalism of Recep Tayyip Erdogan. This list, however, does not include India because India has not spoken a word. In fact, New Delhi is yet to acknowledge Turkey's decision. Now remember this, the Turkish president has never wasted an opportunity to slam India. He has repeatedly questioned India's secular credentials. And now he's converted a museum into a mosque. Why shouldn't India raise a voice? Let me give you some examples of Turkey's approach towards India. And we're not going far back into history. Barely 4 months back, February 2020, communal riots had rocked New Delhi. There was violence from both sides. Do you know what the Turkish president said? He called India a country where the massacre of Muslims was widespread, a country which will fail to make global peace a possibility. He said this of India, a country which calls itself strong because of its large population but is not. These are the words of the Turkish president, and don't even get me started on Erdogan's activism on Kashmir. The same month, February 2020, the Turkish president travelled to Pakistan. He addressed a joint session of the Pakistan parliament and tried justifying Islamabad's cross-border terrorism in Kashmir. He accused India of making Kashmiris suffer. On both these occasions, the Indian Foreign Ministry came down heavily on the Turkish president. The MEA said, and I quote, "These remarks reflect neither an understanding of history nor of the conduct of diplomacy. They distort events of the past to advance a narrow-minded view of the present." The statement may be meant for Erdogan's remarks on Kashmir, but it also applies to his current decision. By converting the Hagia Sophia into a mosque, Erdogan is distorting events of the past. The Hagia Sophia was never built to be a mosque. He's also advancing a narrow-minded view of the present. Istanbul is not short of mosque. It never was. The conversion of this one, of Hagia Sophia, is mired in politics. It is meant to secure Erdogan's political future, and it may just mark the beginning of Turkey's shift away from a secular society to an authoritarian Islamic society. A shift that leaves Erdogan with no moral right whatsoever to point fingers at others, least of all at India. India must take note of this and not remain silent. For now, a statement may go a long way in setting the record straight.